Welcome to A Dose of Feel Good. I'm your host, Whitney Bischoff, and today we are talking about how small kindness is greater than the big stuff. You can see full show notes at doseoffeelgood.my.canva.site. Now let's dive into today's episode. Welcome back. We are at episode 18. And I am super jazzed for today's episode, which I'm jazzed for every week, so nothing new. But I think I have a really fun topic for y'all today. We're going to talk about how small kindness and kind of the everyday things we can do are greater than the big stuff, or the big things in life that we think we have to do. And I am really looking forward to it. So we're just going to dive right in. I think we all believe that we can't be the ones that make a difference, right? That it's this big thing maybe that we're trying to fix or solve, and we see it as this massive puzzle that has like a million pieces. And sometimes we're like, where do I even start? Where do I even begin to make this impact that we all want to make? But I think we think like, oh, it's going to take too much time or energy or effort, or maybe like I don't have all this money that I can give or the resources or whatever. And so it just seems like this massive thing, right? That we're trying to make this impact, but how do we do that? Like, I can't be the one that makes a difference because I don't make millions and millions of dollars. And so maybe we are relying on those people that can give those resources and efforts. So we think it has to be this really big thing where I think if we remind ourselves that it's the small everyday things that actually truly make a difference for the everyday person. And I think, like, putting this into context, we all can agree, like, if I were to receive $1 million or the Powerball just happened, if I would have been the one that made or won that lottery ticket, right? I joke all the time at my job of like, oh, if I win the lottery, hopefully we have systems set up that y'all can survive. But so, like, we think of, oh, if I win the lottery, it's going to solve all of my problems. Where I think if we take a step back and just really think of, like, even if you were to get $1 million tomorrow, but in the process of that, you lost all of the people that check in on you, that show up, would that $1 million actually be worth it, right? Like, would I still be able to do the things I want to do if I then lost the people who are in my life now when I am not a lottery winner? And I think people who do come into all this wealth, they do experience that, or it's a change in their relationship. And so it's like, you know, money is not going to solve all things. But sometimes I think we get in that mindset that, like, that's just what I need in order to be happy, when really it's the everyday things that we have in our lives now for us to be grateful for. And I think even diving into, like, bite-sized pieces, like, I know when someone gives me a gift, even if it's something, like, super ridiculous, I'm obsessed with alpacas, and one of my friends got me a little alpaca stress ball thing, and I loved it. I was like, oh, it's because they know me, and in that moment, like, it showed me that person was thinking of me, and as humans, like, we're relational, and so we want that, right? Like, I was like, it's not the actual gift, the tangible gift, and even as humans, like, we feel guilty when someone gives us something, like, oh, you didn't have to do that, but, like, as the gift giver, we are like, I thought of you, and we don't think of, like, oh, they better be thankful for this, or that we do it with some kind of contingency. Like, that's not the mindset usually that we have when we're getting people gifts. But I think when we receive them, then we're like, oh, I feel bad for whatever reason, which is just a little wild to me. But I think then putting this in terms of, like, not just tangible things, but knowing that, like, the small everyday things that we do for those that we're closest to, or even for strangers, those add up over time. It's this practice of showing up. Like, I will show up over and over again. And those are the things that truly make a difference for people. It isn't going to be the gifts or the tangible monetary things. It's those acts of, I see you and I'm going to continue to show up. It's just those random moments that this made me think of you, whether it's a meme, me and my friends, that's our go-to, or like video or whatever, but like that moment when it's like, oh, someone was thinking of me, that can be really, really helpful. And so as selfish humans that we are, when we take a moment to move out of our small, limited perspective and really start to connect with those that are around us, it's those everyday things and not overthinking it that we have to even solve all their life problems, because we just can't. But it's that act of continuing to show up. And I think this can be demonstrated in a couple of different stories. So something that came to mind is, I don't know if y'all have seen, I think it was like on YouTube, but it was this person who started out with a paperclip, and their goal was to trade items until they purchased a house. But they started with a paperclip, and then I think they traded that for a hair tie, and then the hair tie was traded for, I don't know, something, right? But eventually, all of these things, she got to like where she somehow got a car, like that's kind of the increase in value, and then ultimately the house. And so she didn't spend any money on it. It was just all this trading game. And I think the reason I kind of bring that up is because she started with just a paperclip. And so if we think of even the relationships in our lives, it didn't start with like this really close connection. It doesn't start there. Like, there are things we have to do in order to build those relationships, those small, again, everyday things of showing up. It doesn't start as, oh, we have this great connection. And that's the same thing when we're talking about those tangible pieces of like, she started with just a paperclip. It might start with just a conversation of, tell me about yourself, and the very practical things. But we know that, thinking of the person that you're maybe closest to, at one point, you weren't that close to them. It meant less at that moment, but you build those relationships with starting off with those small everyday pieces and growing through that. And I think as we grow, starting with those small pieces, we start to really share those really great moments that we celebrate together, but then also like the bad and the ugly. We're not going to do that unless we have started small and really built that relationship from the ground up. And so it's those moments, those everyday moments that truly do add up over time. And it doesn't have to be the end all be all or those big things, because that's just not how relationships are built. And I think if we think the same in like just how we approach life, that it's those bite-sized pieces that do truly add up over time. I think there's a lot of really impactful pieces to this topic. I think knowing that our networks, even people that we build relationships with, they're not meant to be thousands of people. We live in this world, the Facebook, Instagram, TikTok world, where there are thousands and thousands of followers. And yes, do those people have an impact on those that I would say like are following them? Yes, absolutely. We're not naive to think that. But they haven't built relationships. Like, I would be very interested to know, like, do they have still this tight network of people? Because we can't do or be it all for everyone. And when we have these thousands of people, like, you can't really build that relationship because there's just not enough time in the day. There really isn't. And so while I think some people want like that much influence, I think it's more of just like focusing on those people that are close to you, because even people who have all that influence, they might not have those real, genuine relationships. And that's what truly makes a difference over time. Those are going to be the people when you are at your lowest low that show up, and really focusing time and energy to those relationships, because those are the ones that matter most. And so when we focus on those that are closest to us, we can show up. And I mean like really showing up. Like, it's not just hey, we went and got coffee together or a drink or whatever. But like when it's hard, they feel comfortable telling us it's hard and we can talk through it together, know that we don't have to do it alone. And even the things that like in our minds are like, man, if I ever said this out loud, it would not go well. But when we build those relationships to those that are closest to us, when we get in that place, we don't have to try to figure it out alone because we are relational human beings. We aren't meant to do that. And I think that even like bleeds over a little bit into like our everyday interactions with strangers or even people we don't know that well. And I know I've said this, but like the power of a compliment and helping people see that like I admire something in you. And we just don't do that. Like we maybe think it in our heads, but like people really need to know that people actually see them. So if you see something in someone, even if it's a stranger, tell them that you admire that thing. I think back, I do this a lot. It's just kind of my natural tendency. I am a woo when we're talking about StrengthsFinder, winning others over. But I really do lean into that. And I think as I have done that more often, I always get this like warm and fuzzy feeling when someone recognizes something in me. And it just the other day, I was wearing green for a news interview and everyone was like, green is your color, like over and over throughout the whole day. And I was like, man, I want to just wear this thing over and over because people saw me and like, I need that. Or like earrings, or I wear barrettes in my hair sometimes. And anytime I get a compliment, it gives me this warm and fuzzy feeling, and they're total strangers. Like they probably don't know that I needed to hear that as some sort of validation. But I did. I do need to hear that. And so I think thinking that same thing as we're interacting with strangers or others, that like that might be something that they just needed to hear and we just don't do it enough. And so it's those small things. It does not have to be anything crazy, right? And I think, you know, people listening, we might have people who have won the lottery or have all of this wealth, and so it's nothing against that at all. But I think if we think of non-tangible items, right, the wealth of just being and showing up as a human, I think thinking of it like spreading that wealth a little bit. I could give all of my time and attention to one person, but I have a group of people. And I know I mentioned this in the last episode, if we only focus on one relationship and that relationship goes away, that can be truly devastating. And so I think I have a little metaphor here, so hopefully y'all appreciate it. But I think, you know, like just sprinkling a little bit of glitter, right? Like just put a little bit of sparkle into people's life, because if we throw all of it, it's like a glitter bomb, and no one likes that. Like no one wants a whole glitter bomb, but a little bit of glitter, like that's okay. Or even like thinking of this in terms of like the sparklers, you know, that you light and they have cute little sparks. When you do one, like it's like, oh, this is pretty, or even two. But when you tape a whole bunch of them together, they make this sparkler bomb, and they're loud and they're not pretty. So I think thinking of it in that sense, that like if we put all of the things, whether that is tangible or untangible things, it can be too much and we don't know what to do with it. Where if we just sprinkle a little bit here and there, those are the things that really do add up over time, and it's not too much. So I truly believe like the small things, the small everyday things are the things that really make a difference. So what are we going to do with this? So here's where you take out your notebooks here. So I think first identifying like who are those people in your close-knit network. If you were struggling, or the things you want to celebrate life with, like who are your people? Knowing who those people are, and reach out, check in, give those kind of small pieces to those that are in that immediate network. So focus your time and attention and energy to those that mean the most to you, and know who those people are. I think also commit yourself to doing one small thing every day. That could be something for yourself. I always say like every decision I make, often when it's diet related, but it's just that one decision. Like I don't need to know that I'm going to lose X amount over this period of time, but it starts with just one decision each and every day. And I think that's the same thing when we're connecting with people. So dedicate yourself to just doing one small thing every single day and see how that does add up over time. And our last reminder here is to remind yourself of the impact that you don't even know you're having. I think we kind of get stuck in those moments of like, is this enough? Or kind of questioning what we're doing, but we forget that like we've had an impact on all of these people, and it might not be big things to us, but it is huge for them. I think of a lot of my students that, especially my job now, I'm like, I don't even know if what I'm doing is making a difference at all. I say that all of the time. But I have students that reach out, and even students that I've had 5-10 years ago that are like, you made such a difference and helped me to get to where I am now. And I sometimes forget to connect those dots. So I want us all to remind ourselves of that impact that we don't even know we're making, because it does make a big difference. So continue to show up, and I promise you that it is truly making a difference. So with that, we're going to wrap up episode 18. I want to give a quick shout out and or reminder. If you have any fun feel-good stories or topics that you want to share, please check out our website, doseoffeelgood.my.canva.site, and you can share those fun things with us or message us on Instagram. And I would love to hear and connect with y'all and know that hopefully this is making a difference for at least one person. And share with someone that might need to have that reminder today that they are making that impact and they are making a difference. So have a beautiful week, and make sure to tune back in next week. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you are feeling ready to conquer the week and let your impact ripple out to the world around you. Let's connect on Instagram and Threads at Dose of Feel Good Podcast. If you're loving the podcast, I'd love it if you'd hit that subscribe button and leave a review. Until next time, share your own dose of feel good and never underestimate the power of positivity.